Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we got a real big, long, involved show where certain things will not be allowed to be said on YouTube, but the main thing we're going to be covering today, okay, is the fact that this woman from Iran, who is only one of three athletes to actually compete in the games, is not only the highlight of what was the opening ceremony over in Beijing, but for me, she is the highlight of the Olympics. I'm going to draw some amazing parallels to her, and it shows me that a woman who supposedly comes from the most oppressive regime ever, according to our military-industrial complex, Iran, is braver than any American athlete, any Western athlete, and quite frankly, anybody involved as an adult in that opening ceremony. And I'm going to show you why. And I'm just so impressed with this woman. And it speaks to so many things because, look, I'm not one of these guys that goes and harps against China. But China authoritarianism is the model. She refused to bend the knee, even though every other athlete bent the knee. I want you to, if you're watching this, and by the way, we're streaming this live on Podbean. That's a place you can call in, but it's audio only. We're doing live podcast right now. If you take a look at her, look at that smile. Look at that vibrance. And there's no reason that Atifa Ahmadi, and I hope I'm not butchering her name, shouldn't show you that smile. What she did to get there is amazing. It should be one of the proudest moments in her life. And you had Bill Maher come out, I believe last night, on his program, and talk about the theater of all this, and then showing Magic Johnson with Gavin Newsom and other politicians not wearing their mark of slavery, because that's all it is at this point. It's the mark of slavery. It's the mark of obedience. It's I have given up. I will do as I am told. I will bend the knee. I will lick the boot. She won't. She won't. And it makes me smile. I'll tell you right now. So I was watching this thing go off live while I was downtown in a bar waiting for my buddy so we could discuss the possibility of me moving into this new space and expanding, because we're trying to do that. Again, I'm spending money I'm really not making right now, guys. I'll be quite honest with you. Crypto is down. I don't even want to promote the GoFundMe after what they just did to the Canadian truckers at all. I guess I have the PayPal right now, but the bottom line is I'm focusing on moving away from all that stuff, investing in myself and my voice and this information, and hoping that you share it with others. And we can make some kind of a revenue that way, okay? Because I want you to think about this. These athletes are peak, let me repeat this, peak physical condition, have been tested thoroughly. And every one of them, except for this woman, this powerful woman, whose father, by the way, did an amazing job. And we're going to get to that when we tell you her story. Because she ain't no one-trick pony, folks. I mean, my God. Okay? And I mean, that smile just, it makes me, so, I mean, look at that smile. This is her. She's a skier. We're going to talk about that story. Again, everybody else, we're going to go through this whole kind of extravaganza and what it really was, right? I didn't watch beyond the walkouts. But again, when I saw nation after nation after nation after nation literally walking out muzzled. Hey, Canada, okay? Muzzled. That's what that is, okay? United States. Let me show you again. If you're watching this on there, muzzled. Mark of the slave. It's kind of almost ironic that they're all bending the knee. Not even when they took the picture after the walkouts. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, 100%, this woman, Atifa Ahmadi, is the hero of the day. Look at that smile. Look at that real smile of hers. Where is it? Right there. And Getty Images blocks it off a little bit. Vibrant smile. Vibrant smile. 21 years old. Amazing woman. So, if you're watching on YouTube, I need you to thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. If you are not, we're far from done with this video, even on the YouTube end. But there's going to be material that we absolutely 100% cannot talk about on this broadcast on YouTube anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage you to make a free Rokfin account and come on over when we do at least pass the buck. And if you do want to support me, hey, subscribe. Crypto may be down, but I believe in free speech. I believe in this platform. I was just watching Sky Daddy do her first broadcast via Rokfin, which is totally awesome. I think that she's extremely talented. I was actually upset when she went away. And she just has so many real takes on life, right? And one of those real takes that I kind of want to talk about that she ended the broadcast with was this hall pass mentality. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit later a hall pass when it comes to the quote-unquote N-bomb. And we can't play that on YouTube. But Ari Spears actually put out a really smart video regarding the whole Joe Rogan topic in that regard. If you watched my video when that broke, you know I said I don't even care about that controversy right now, because the real controversy is that we had 70 plus more episodes come off. Now, was that Joe Rogan self-censorship? I got a text from my buddy Steve at Slow News Day. He thought it was self-censorship. Maybe it was. That's also bending the knee. Okay, it's not just you don't bend the knee, but you accept your mistakes if you've made them, you acknowledge them, you try to do better. And if you are a bigot, I want to see the evidence. If you're going to say someone is a bigot on any level, show it to me. Show it to me. And are they a bigot for life? Did they make a mistake? Is it an interpretation? Okay? So we're going to be getting to that. We're going to play that video. I'm going to show you guys the blockchain slavery video. And I believe I may have played this with John Fitch, perhaps, on Mixed Martial Mindset, but I haven't done a focus video on this. And, you know, it's one of my frustrations that people think there's going to be this vast transfer of wealth via cryptocurrencies. No, a bunch of, you know, millionaire class minions via that will be made. And then the predator class billionaires will just continue to get richer and 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 richer, not by some kind of fiat and not just by the crypto itself, but by buying up the actual resources like lands and infrastructure. Okay? And that's what it's really about. And then the blockchain will be used to what? Control and manipulate and enslave the serf class, which is all of us. Which is why we're going to now circle back to the beginning of this video. And we're going to talk about super HIV. Okay, we're going to talk about Howard Stern in blackface, all sorts of stuff. Okay, Ted Danson's going to make an appearance. We got a lot coming up. But coming full circle to this woman and what is really a civil rights issue right now. All of this is civil rights. And if you ever saw my loosechange911.com, you know, I hope I can bring it up live. I'm going to look it up. Loose Change 911. And let's see if I can get the logo up. Okay, because I remember a lot of people, because of the way I made it, man, all these graphics aren't there. I used to have this fist graphic that was on the back of these t-shirts. Maybe I'll go to, had them on the back of the Corey t-shirt right there. Man, still can't see it. But it was white against black, and it was really a cutout of this right here, this gentleman. Now, because it was slick, some people tried to say that it was like some kind of skinhead thing. No, it was like, no, this is 9/11 truth was the next civil rights movement. A lot of people just didn't realize it. And let me explain that to you. And by the way, these guys are heroes. These are the guys you want to be, standing up against the system. All right, now you could even argue, and I think what these two gentlemen did was extremely powerful. They did so after winning on the world stage, you know, letting people know of the real oppression and racism and civil rights movement in America was real in the United States. Segregation was real. Okay? That's the deal. Okay? And they did a good thing here. Now, I want you to think about this. So many people talk about this gentleman right here. He's right over my hat. You see him? He's got the little, I'm circling him. We see that in memes. That's the guy you want to be. You want to be this woman who stood up and said no more. Because all of these are the equivalents of human civil rights across the board. And so was 9/11. 9/11, beyond just the human rights abuse in the Middle East that we did in Afghanistan, that we did in Iraq, continue to do both places. Don't fool yourselves. Okay? Now Yemen, into AFRICOM, into all the war on terror, Libya, okay? Syria, all of it. Every single bit, every part of Gitmo. And that's why with all you QAnon said, oh, Gitmo's good. We want to put him in Guantanamo Bay. Lock her up. What are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? Do you think black sites are good? Do you think they're not eventually for you? Just like the blockchain slavery we're going to show you? And that, you know what? That's a good way to kind of segue into that. And before we read about this incredible woman, if you think that they're not trying to utilize this digital technology, not for decentralization, but for total accountability, okay, and centralization, well, I'm about to show you otherwise. And we'll put the music on really, hopefully low underneath because I'm going to have to read these things. But this is put out by the World Economic Forum last month. Okay? This refugee camp runs on the blockchain. Source, MIT World Food Program. Oh, well, that's lovely. I'm so glad the refugee camp runs on it. You'll never be a refugee, right, though? Okay? And they get physical money through this, okay? They have refugee shops at supermarkets without physical money. Without physical money. See, this is all blockchain tech. Okay? They pay, they look into a camera. Oh, it's all biometrics. You know where they did that? You know where that was literally beta tested? In Afghanistan, war on terror. You're seeing the same thing come to refugee camps. I know, you can't be a refugee, though. This isn't about the total slavery of humanity. The Track Trace Database Society is already in place, has already been utilized. They are already using psychological warfare against you, and right now is the fourth industrial revolution nightmare that they are trying to bring in. The transhumanist nightmare. Oh, well, look at that. The iris scanner connects to the World Food Program accounts. Their UBI, their universal basic income. Blockchain, listen, any technology, again, we've said it again and again and again and again here. It is benign. It can be utilized to empower humanity or enslave them. But what you have to realize is that we don't live in the cupcakes and unicorns universe where everything is hunky-dory and the people in control aren't utilizing it to enslave us before our very eyes. To the point where at the Olympic Games, in front of the world model, one athlete, one brave woman, dares to show her face and smile in front of the world. In front of the, and not a front page story anywhere. Not picked up anywhere. She's the hero of the day. I thought I was going to be late to the party on Sunday afternoon talking about it. I talked about it briefly yesterday, but apparently not. Apparently no one else picked up on that woman is powerful. You know, she is not a coward. She is brave. She is so brave. And I want to show the cowardly response from this Twitter person. Ooh, you can't do that in China. What? That's your reaction? So let's continue through this. The blockchain could help refugees find work. Oh, I'm sure they're going to find real great work. I'm sure, they're in refugee camps. They're going to act like it's not slave labor for slave wages, and they love you. The World Economic loves you and the blockchain. Okay? I mean, as it can store a person's digital identity. Are you what? This is the World Economic Forum putting it in your face. in your face without the need for paperwork like passports, exam certificates, and financial histories. You get it? Your entire social credit score, your entire movement. And we know what kind of passports they're talking about. We don't want to say the word. Let's not say the word on YouTube. Ooh, another extension of the military-industrial complex. Google, NASA, NSA. Another reason, Sky is on point. She sits there and she talks about Elon Musk being erected as... They want you to believe that Elon Musk is the hero of the day. I guarantee that our world would be a much, much, much better place if this woman right here, okay, this woman right here was in charge, okay? You see her, Atifa Ahmadi, 21 years old. Let her make moral decisions, okay, on a global level. Everybody's life that is not bound to the predator class gets better, 100%. Not Elon Musk, I can promise you that. I can promise you that. So again, we'll just replace all that. Fourth Industrial Revolution, no problem. Here we go. Yep. Oh, look at that. Oh, or seized by hostile governments. The WFP has been paying aid directly to refugees. Do you see what that says? Basically, they're saying, after we destroy your civilizations through NATO sanctions or false flag warfare or funding of warlords and other despots that we back, don't worry. The survivors will have their digital information already set up for the refugee camps. Great. Awesome. Doesn't best thing since breakfast. And they can just pay them directly to the refugees. Great. Oh, they cost so much in bank transaction fees, but the blockchain will cut the fees by 98%. There's no need for a bank account or cash with the blockchain. I mean, they're showing, if you're not watching this, if you're just listening to this, they are showing you people on the ground with sleeping bags huddled in a very confined area. The World Food Program. I want the United Nations out of my country. I want them completely uninvolved with my government. Okay? I want us out of NATO. I want these war criminals prosecuted for what they have actually done. I am sick of these narratives. I am disgusted that their location is in the heart of New York City, the belly of the beast, if you will. Gross. Gross. I mean, my goodness. Give me a break. Oh, is blockchain the future of humanitarian aid? I love how they frame it all about human. It's always about helping you. Always about helping you. Okay? Well, let me show you something about this woman who, again, had what seems to be, when you read this story, an amazing dad. An amazing dad. I mean, I'm sure she had a great mom too, but really focuses on this. Her dad was a coach and a professional athlete who really must have, again, and I'm not talking about because she made the Olympics despite all these odds, okay, coming from a small village in Iran. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that she's, again, the only one brave enough to show her smile in front of the dictatorship. I mean, look at this thing. It was a big show for holograms and laser fests and obedience, right? There's a bunch of people with a very neon feel. There's the hologram in the background that breaks off, and then the Olympic rings are there, and there's the neon hockey people, and there it is, all the obedience. All the obedience. There's Gigi. What up, Gigi? How we doing? Can we get the thumbs up? We don't even have 100 thumbs up over on YouTube. This is the kind of material you're not getting anywhere else. You're not getting from your liberal or conservative or even libertarian pundits. This is Reality Sauce USA, brought to you by the No Johnny Nonsense town, Jason Burmis, today. You're getting it, okay? So again, everybody walks out. Everybody's got their mask on except for her. Except for her. They let the kids afterwards, and whoever, I guess these are women and kids, they let them be without masks afterwards, but every single person that walked out on behalf of their team, except for that one woman, bent the knee. They all bent the knee. So, There she is again. I can't get enough of her, really, guys. Iranian Atifa Ahmadi learned to ski not long after she could walk, but on the path to Winter Olympics has been an entirely smooth run for the 21-year-old. Okay, the parents put her on skis when she was 3. I was so small I didn't understand what these pieces of wood were for, but I learned. Now, this girl first got a taste of it, if you look here, when her sister brought back the 2012 Winter Youth Olympics in Austria, Insignia. So she saw that and said, I want to do it. Now, what's even better about this, and again, it talks about her dad taking her out there and, people being ignorant enough to believe that they're in a desert country like Saudi Arabia. But again, most people have no idea about, where things are, let alone actual international policy. That's why they'll just be like, yeah, sure. Russia's bad. Yeah, no, they fix our elections. Yeah, okay, sure. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't those aspects, but, Russiagate was total Johnny nonsense, and I told you no one was going to get in trouble for that either. And there was hopium on all that. Lots of hopium in the world. This is the kind of hopium I like, because it's not just hopium, it's a woman who actually gets rejected at 17, okay? She wanted to get in there. I was extremely motivated. I was 17 years old, and I wanted to make history, to be the youngest Iranian skier to go to the Olympics overall. I mean, what is not to like about her? My goodness. About as dynamic as it gets. Impressive. I mean, wow. Great. All right. Now, she doesn't make it. She was devastated. I cried for 2 weeks. I wanted to quit skiing. 2 months later, I picked myself up and I started training again. I wanted to prove to everyone what I was capable of despite my age. I want you to think about that. This is a girl who, not only overcame so much just to get there, but then I think about it, and these are the types that I hired to come work for me at a bar at the Red Jug Pub here. And at that age group, just trying to get them to do that. This is an Olympic athlete. An Olympic athlete. I was born in the traditional town and the renowned professional female athlete, she said. A girl from our region who reaches the biggest sports arena in the world can be a role model. No, you are a global role model. And I am beside myself. I am gushing. At this young lady. And everybody else should be too. Because this is the type of thing, when people saw it, they posted, all right? So this, again, you look at this and, ooh, is this Iranian athlete going to get in trouble? I definitely wouldn't be trying this in China. What? Wait, aren't we supposed to live in a free country here? Aren't we supposed to set the example? Aren't we supposed to say things are wrong when they're wrong and do the right thing despite that? And we didn't do it. She's not a coward. Okay? She's not a coward. And I'm just so impressed with everything about her. 100%. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. So I want to move forward, and I want to talk about this. We can only talk about it very briefly, and it's going to be on the other side of the broadcast when we get into the next controversial topic. But new, highly virulent HIV variant detected in Netherlands could cause people to develop AIDS more quickly. Who would have thunk it? Who would have warned you? Who would have said, when Forbes magazine, puts it out there, that maybe, just maybe, do I not have that ready to go? That's a web archive. Here it is right here. There it is. Nope, that's a different one. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There it is right there. I mean, when researchers warn that, right, and then a bunch of people end up getting the old false positivity, and they halt it up, I just wonder sometimes, where that could have come from. But we're going to read that on the other side. I don't want to make any connections. So, when I was listening to Sky, I thought to myself, she was talking about a hall pass and how it was really weird that monogamous people, married people, or people in relationships will actually talk about a celebrity in the sense that they want to have sex with that person. And if they were to meet them in real life, the other person would allow that. And I think that that is the wackiest, craziest, most Johnny nonsense thing I've ever heard of in my life. And in a committed relationship, I have never done such a thing. Now, is that to say that I've never been attracted to a celebrity? Well, since celebrities in nature, and by and large, most of them are physically attractive, at least to a sect of the populace, of course I have been. Okay? You know, have I thought to myself seriously about, you know, being with someone, or if that opportunity came up that at the time I would cheat on, you know, somebody because they gave me a pass? No, that's so weird. And I find it kind of the same thing where certain people will give people a pass on using the N-bomb, right, where others won't. Now, I'm going to play, I can't play this clip. I can't play this clip anywhere. Maybe I could get away with it on Rockfin, but because we're on Podbean and it goes out to an RSS feed, I'm not even going to try to play it. Howard Stern here with Sherman Hemsley is actually, by the way, if you're watching this, depicting Ted Danson. And so when I talk about these kind of hall pass things and moments, the first things first, you don't know these celebrities. You don't know who they are behind closed doors. You have an idea because you think you've grown up with them and you've drawn an emotional attachment to the characters that they play, because subconsciously, a lot of us just cannot circumvent what is real, okay, and what is, how do I say this, an artificially enticing reality that you want to believe in. Okay, how about that? And Ted Danson, for instance, I find hilarious on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's been in the series, I think, really since the get-go, and he's got a pretty great part in the last season as well. He's funny. He's funny. Does that mean that I think that Ted Danson should have done blackface, okay, at the New York Friars Club roast of Whoopi Goldberg? Well, let's talk about it for a second. Whoopi and him were sleeping together at the time. They were literally together at the time. And I know that so many people out there, they watch the Comedy Central roasts and they go, ooh, and they go, ah. The New York Friars Club roast is where that originates, and they went hardcore. Now, even if, say, Whoopi gave him the hall pass to do that, is that okay? Is it in context? I'm not here to decide, but what I'll tell you is this. There should be a robust discussion. We don't cancel anybody. Ha ha! We don't get rid of it. We don't demand we take Ted Danson off TV. We don't demand we take Whoopi Goldberg off. And we don't demand that Howard Stern is taken off with this. Okay? And on the flip, and we're going to do this soon, we're going to go to Rockfin exclusively and Podbean exclusively, so make sure that you go over there, because we're going to play this take by comedian Ari Spears on the N-bomb and Joe Rogan. But right here, Stern drops all sorts of N-bombs satirizing Ted Danson, and Sherman Hemsley is playing Whoopi Goldberg. And I mean, you watch this thing, it's hard to watch. I can't play it here. I'm glad that Twitter's allowing it and not taking it off. That's great. But I can't play it here. Howard Stern has called for people to be starved out or jailed if they don't take forced injections. Okay? If he was a dictator or whatever, he said repulsive things. It's hard for me to watch because Howard Stern is one of those people I really enjoyed growing up. He was on that edge, you know, and right or wrong, another icon is sitting there with Howard Stern doing this bit. Does he get a hall pass? Again, I'm not here to decide, but language is language. Context is context. Let's have the discussion, okay? And not just cancel people, because anybody from my era kind of already knows this on the tail end. okay? Because you couldn't get away from the 10 or so networks that you had, especially if you were a kid and you were watching daytime televisions and reruns, from moving on up to the East Side. They finally got a piece of the pie. And the Jeffersons, anybody who knows about it, anybody can look it up, they changed television forever. They did. They changed the landscape of American television forever. And they showed a, black husband and wife as affluent business owners who were successful. Again, you listen to that opening, and some people will be like, I can't believe they did this. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Even NPR, the Jeffersons left a lasting television legacy. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So here's the deal, guys. If you're over on YouTube, we're about to leave you. I still want you to thumbs it up, subscribe, and share if you're new. But we are about to get to the censored part of the broadcast where we break down what Ari Spears says about that word and if it's ever allowed to be said by a person that might be of my skin persuasion, ever, in any context whatsoever. And I think he makes an excellent point without making it racial at all and about reality. So you want to support me? Subscribe, $9.99 a month, $99.99 for a year. Make sure you endorse Jason Burmis. Then you get everybody's premium content. I give away 99+% of my stuff, and the stuff that is premium you can probably find somewhere else. So, YouTube, I've got to let you go. We got some stuff to talk about on the flip side. I love you, but I don't love the censorship, and I'll see everybody else